I want you to look at how Utahns reacted the last two nights. There was no rioting. There was no looting. There were no cars set on fire. There was no violence. There were vigils and prayers and people coming together to share the humanity.
Yes, Governor Spencer Cox of Utah, calm, cool, collected, took a ding or two over the weekend. I'm not sure the ding he took richly deserved, but we'll get to that. And it's true all weekend long. Conservatives in America and Republicans showing our true colors, and the Democrats showing theirs. They pulled up their skirts a little bit and flashed their panties at us, and they're pretty freaky-deaky, I got to say. Well, a very good Monday to you after a very complicated week last week. And for my best girl and I, a weekend, a very full weekend. We drove out, 4.5 hours. We went to Virginia Tech for a big football game on Saturday, and it didn't go very well for Virginia Tech. But we had a grand old time. We had a grand old time regardless. In fact, the game for Virginia Tech went so badly that, as I understand it, they fired the head coach. You know your game didn't go well when, for their 0-3 season start. But don't worry about him. He's got a $6 million buyout standing by. It's like being a weatherman. You know, you can get it wrong and lose most of the time and still get the big payday. Well, very good. It is the middle of September already. How did that happen? The 15th of September in 2025. And what a time it is. But a vigil for Charlie Kirk at the Kennedy Center last night that I and my best girl and I only learned about when we were driving back into the city, not in time to make the event, so we did not make it. We did record, because I record a lot of stuff, and checked out the vigil last night. We have pieces of the vigil. We also have, in addition to the governor, Governor Cox of Utah, being on with Dana Bash, lifelong Democrat, and nothing but on CNN yesterday. The governor, I think, doing a fine job, and it's a bit of a high-wire act, and he demonstrated that as well. But we shall get to a good deal of that, because there is a lot to talk about, and you are welcome to join in the conversation. In fact, I want to hear from you about what's going on in your world, what's going on out there in America with your family and your neighbors and your colleagues when it comes to Charlie Kirk. So many Democrats praising the assassination, the bloodthirsty ghouls that they are. In New Jersey, a nurse at a hospital is on suspension because she called out a doctor who was a medical doctor, you know, the Hippocratic Oath and first do no harm and all that stuff. The doctor saying Charlie Kirk deserved it. He deserved to be assassinated, to be shot and killed by a sniper. Now, the doctor has been suspended as well. I don't think I'd want to have that doctor tending to me if I found myself in that hospital. I think I might want to find a different hospital, a different doctor. But they're both, the doctor and the nurse, under suspension while they invest, because the doctor is praising the assassination. He's a run-of-the-mill Democrat. Millions of Democrats praising the assassination all over online, social media, as it is sometimes called. Remarkable things going on in America. Terrible things going on in America because the Democrat Party, honestly. But one of the things that has been observed, and Governor Cox last week shared this, and we shared it first with you because we were on the air when Governor Cox came out and held a press conference last week, and he talked about the soundbite we just played. The fact that Republicans came out when Charlie Kirk was assassinated, more violence by the left against conservatives, just a murderous assassination, pay no attention to that, of a God-fearing, patriotic American who never hurt a fly, and they have no idea what he said, but they're happy that he was assassinated because they're bloodthirsty ghouls. But we've got a lot to talk about, and some media out there saying, "Oh yeah, the assassin, the murderer, he He's got he lives with a man, and they have sex together. So they're gay, you see. And then the boyfriend thinks he's becoming a girl. He's not, but he thinks he is. And he says he's transitioning. You can't transition from being a man to being a woman, but you can have the mental illness that allows you to think that. And the assassin's boyfriend is that he thinks that he has that mental illness. The assassin is named Tyler Robinson. I don't want to use his name an awful lot, but he turns out that his tranny gay boyfriend thinks he's becoming his girlfriend, and the media think that he's in a heterosexual relationship because his boyfriend thinks he's his girlfriend. See? And the media says, well, he's in a perfectly normal heterosexual relationship because his boyfriend is a girl, because he says he's a girl and a woman. They're old enough to be considered adults. But we have that going. Really remarkable things. At the Turning Point USA headquarters in Phoenix, Arizona, there's a memorial that has been built, people bringing flowers and vases and balloons and gifts. And one Democrat showed up and kicked and stomped his way through the memorial because they're vile, repugnant, millions and millions of them. The Democrats have raised a generation of hate-filled, violent, crazy, demented people that have abandoned science and biology and don't know what a woman is. We have a Supreme Court justice who is a woman who doesn't know what a woman is because a Democrat got to nominate her for the Supreme Court. I can identify her as a woman, and she can't because she doesn't know what a woman is. So we've got a lot going on. Honestly, the Kennedy Center, some interesting moments at the Kennedy Center. Tulsi Gabbard was there, Secretary Tulsi Gabbard, former Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard, former Democrat Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard, no longer a member of the Democratic Party. Caroline Leavitt was there. She ran for Congress, and Charlie Kirk helped her to run for Congress. The Speaker of the House was there, Mike Johnson. He was there. Remarkable things. Who else? Una Paloma Blanca, the Congresswoman, and Ana Paloma Blanca, and she was there. And turns out Charlie Kirk helped her position herself to run for Congress as well. He's been doing all kinds of things with all kinds of people for quite some time. We also have the governor of New York, who's a Democrat, and she loves crime. She wants more crime. What she's looking for is a crime-ridden New York City. She has announced that she is endorsing Don't Mess with the Zohran Mamdani. And Zohran Mamdani is a communist. He says he's a socialist. Socialists are really communists. The difference between socialism and communism is 5 years. 5 years. And as their boy Vladimir Lenin said, the purpose of socialism, the goal of socialism, is communism. And the Democrat Party and communism is slavery and brutality and poverty. And the Democrat Party has bought in because they've erased all memory of the 20th century and they're starting over again. It's what's that movie where the Satan? I'll think of it in a minute. You know, the lawyers in New York, and then he gets killed, and it all starts over again. It all starts over. Yeah, the Devil's Advocate. Thank you, the Devil's Advocate. That's right, Devil's Advocate. And at the end, when Satan is the man who's going to inherit Satan's throne is killed, he kills himself. Actually, spoiler alert. And then boom, it all starts over again. And communism is like the Devil's Advocate. You think communism, the Soviet Union, dies, and then it comes back to life again, like in the Devil's Advocate. And the Democrat Party is carrying the flag of communism that we thought was destroyed in the 20th century. But the Democrats are here, and they have picked up the flag. Aren't they amazing? Yes, they are. And they had the Emmy Awards last night. Nobody watches. I think it's not even on TV. Is it true it's not even on TV? I think it was like streaming or something. But the Emmys last night, and it's all about beep, ice, and free Palestine because they love, and the woman that's screaming free Palestine, she's Jewish. She needs help. She needs therapy. She shouldn't get it. She should leave the country. That's pretty amazing stuff. Yeah, Jewish woman at the Emmys screaming free Palestine. I'll give you a free ticket to Palestine. How about that? And is she an LGBTQIAA? I'm not sure, but we've got that code. And I have I've been taking in a lot of news and information and tweets and things over the weekend quite quite a number of them, and I look forward to sharing all of this good stuff with you. And hearing from you on it as well. And again, we are at 888-630-9625. This is I'm happy to say, a very unusual time in the United States of America. The Democrats are, I think, revealing themselves. They've revealed themselves again and again. I've been talking about it for years now, but they continue to reveal that they're a bloodthirsty gang of violent brigands. I'll say brigands because it's the nicest nicest term I can think of, and it doesn't violate FCC regulations, like that George Carlin list of words that you can't use. But beyond that, boy, let me tell you, the Charlie Kirk assassination, man thrown to ground and arrested after trampling on Charlie Kirk Memorial in chaotic scene. The man, the savage, was a Democrat. He should get probably life without parole. I was looking up some stories over the weekend because my best girl showed me on, I guess it's a CNN Facebook page. And the CNN people on this Facebook page are going on, oh, yeah? What about the right-wing violence? Like the guy that hit Nancy Pelosi's husband in the head with a hammer. Oh, you mean the illegal alien from Canada who thought that he had a... but I went and I looked up that story because they're saying, oh, yeah, that's a classic example of right-wing violence. I went, really? Okay. So when I looked at it, and he's a nut. And I looked, you know what I discovered? The guy went to Pelosi's house, hit the Pelosi's husband in the head with a hammer. And that was a real bad thing to do, old guy and all that stuff. And there are all kinds of theories about it that never really went anywhere. But he was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole for assault. Because don't you know who you hit? First, he was in his first trial. He was sentenced to like 50 years or something like that, or 20 years, whatever it was. Then they charged him with more crimes. No double jeopardy here. Don't worry about it. And he was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole for that assault. That's pretty amazing stuff, isn't it? I'm telling you. And I want to get some of that CNN Facebook page because they don't follow the news. It's this thing I always like to point out, that they pretend to be in the news business. They don't follow the news. They don't know what's in the news. They have no memory for what the news was at the time, and they misrepresent it now. Right-wing violence. The crazy right-wingers were going to kidnap Gretchen Whitmer, the Democrat governor of Michigan. Oh, the one that the FBI set up, and FBI was disciplined for all over the place, and never mind that, the Democrats. And who else? Oh, the shooting the two elected politicians in Minnesota. Right-wing violence by a guy that was appointed to a statewide commission by Governor Tim Walz and to a statewide commission by the previous Democrat governor of Minnesota. And that's what they call right-wing violence if you're a CNN fake journalist. Got all kinds of wackadoodle stuff going on over there. But we've got a lot to get to. Now, also in Washington, D.C. over the weekend, 14th and U Streets. It was overnight, Saturday night going into Sunday. 4 people stabbed because Democrats are trying to bring back crime. 4 people stabbed, 1 of them killed, 3 of them not killed, but 3 others stabbed, 4 of them stabbed. And the Democrats tried to bring back crime. And now the mayor of Washington, D.C. has apparently announced she's not going to cooperate with federal law enforcement anymore because she wants to bring back murder. And this is more Democrats, more murder. More Democrats, more crime. And you know what? She wants to build a new prison, too. It's Democrats are mental. It's mental dwarfism. Isn't it amazing? And here's a headline from a left-wing outfit. The headline is GOP Senator, : they love their colons. It's dangerous to call Trump Hitler. Oh, you think? And then to call for Hamas to wipe Israel off the face of the earth. Isn't that fascinating? They call you Hitler, and then they call for Israel to be wiped off the face of the earth. Then they exterminate 40% of the black population in the womb, and they harvest the organs of 1 million children a year in the United States. Helpless little babies. Helpless. See, I like that. Isn't it amazing? And Governor Spencer Cox confirms that Tyler Robinson had trans partner. Yeah, well, he's going to spend the rest of his life in prison. So maybe he'll find a new trans partner in the penitentiary. Isn't it amazing? And New York and New Jersey skipped the flag order issued by President Trump for Charlie Kirk to fly the flags at half-staff. So New York and New Jersey, run by Democrats, are like the breakaway republic. They're the Confederate States of America. The Democrats, they want to keep their slaves again. Well, illegal aliens this time, but same thing. Isn't that amazing? Man. And across the country, teachers and professors nationwide fired or disciplined over their hate-filled pro-murder, pro-assassination social media posts, and they're outraged by that. There's a real irony in there. You know, they have no sense of irony. I've got that coming up. Have you seen the video of the mom going with her two little girls, teaching her little girls to be bloodthirsty ghouls? I've got the audio I want to share with you. Asks her two little girls, I've got the best news ever for you. And you'll never guess, little girl, what are they, 7 and 9 years old? Wait till you hear this. Pretty amazing stuff. Right now, let's go to the telephones, Michael, and talk to the great American people. Let's go to Steve, calling from Sarasota, Florida. Steven, you're on the Chris Plant Show.
Good morning, Chris.
Hey, Steve.
It's hard for me to really take in everything that's going on, but I talk to a lot of young people, not the least of which are my kids, and they have become very sobered by this. And I really believe that just like when all of us could tell where we were when 9/11 happened, I think each one of these kids now is indelibly marked with this incident this week. And I can't underestimate. I don't think anybody can underestimate the powerful impact that this is going to have on the younger generation. And so, when we see the lies coming from the left and how they want to change this from what it is to like, a MAGA moment, that some crazy person with a gun, and all these deflections and things like that, they're desperate now. And I think that they realize just how serious the situation, their words, their rhetoric has become. And it's just a shame.
Yeah, do the Democrats realize? I'm not sure. Maybe some do, but I haven't seen a lot of evidence of that. We've got, in New York, Democrats gathered to sing. They sang the lyrics. They turned them into lyrics of the words that the killer, Tyler Robinson, wrote on his bullets. There's video that was posted online yesterday by a mother of children. Here's a mother talking to her two children. Michael, I would say that not a father myself, I can only estimate, I'd say a 7-year-old girl and a 9-year-old girl, maybe a 10-year-old girl. And their mother came to them with very exciting news, the best news ever. Boy, this is such great news. What do you hear the great news I have for you? So the two girls, very excited, are standing by here to hear the greatest news ever. And they reveal what the mother and the family have been teaching their children who are diseased and should probably be taken away from the parents and put into government custody until they can find a civilized home. But here is the audio portion of the video posted proudly by a mother of two daughters, and it reveals what she is teaching her two daughters. Quite remarkable stuff. Again, probably a 7-year-old girl and then a 9 or 10-year-old girl, and Piercy saying, yeah, maybe about, and that's pretty much ballpark. That's as well as I can do there. And here it is. The mother reveals to the two girls she has the best news ever, and they're going to be very excited with the news that mom has to share with them. So the girls then are asked to guess what the greatest news ever is.
I have the best news ever.
What? Donald Trump died?
Donald Trump died.
Second best news.
The vice president died?
The vice president
Okay,
died.
third best news.
That Elon Musk died?
Okay, no. Nobody died. My best friend's getting married.
Which one is it?
Taylor Swift! Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce got engaged!
They don't seem to care very much about that. They were excited. The very best news ever would be Donald Trump died. That's the little girls. They're being brainwashed and indoctrinated. I think an armored vehicle with a battering ram on the front, a la Daryl Gates of the LAPD long ago, should come through and tear the front of the house off and drag the kids away in bags and put them in government care until appropriate parents can be found. Best news ever. Donald Trump died, and they're literally their arms. They clench their fists and they're pumping their fists. And Donald Trump died. Like it's the best news ever. What could the best news ever be? That Donald Trump died. Well, it's not that good, she says. Second best, the vice president died. These are two little girls in a Democrat household out there in America. This is what Democrats are teaching children. This is the next generation of Democrats. I assume they're going to be transgender and violent and mentally ill, and their mother is teaching them this. And then, okay, it's not that good. It's not Donald Trump died. It's not the vice president of the United States died. These are little girls in the United States, America, in an ordinary, it looks like a very nice home, expensive home. And the little girls couldn't be more excited. When mom says best news ever, what could it be? It must be that Donald Trump died. No, sorry, not that good. The vice president died? The little girls say with great excitement. No, it's not that good either. And then Elon Musk died, and then the idiot, giddy, child-abusing, psychotic B-word of a mother says, no, Taylor Swift is what'd she say, my best friend? She'd never met her, of course. So she lives in a delusion where Taylor Swift is her best friend. She's taught her children that the best thing ever would be the President of the United States, who's been shot once by a Democrat, another Democrat on trial in Florida this week and last week for attempting to kill him. And the Democrats are raising their children to be bloodlusty political extremists and fanatics. And honestly, the children should be taken away from the parents and probably sent to Albania, where they can be raised to fight in the Albanian army. Just one idea. In Albania in the 1990s, I've told the story here once, I think, but in Tirana, Albania, I was there in the 1990s, and in the main square in Tirana, Albania, you go there in the morning and you find babies in cardboard boxes because it's so impressive. They've been doing it for generations. You drop off your baby in the town square, and the government comes along and they take the babies and they raise them, the state raises them, to become soldiers and killers for the then Enver Hoxha army. And the Democrat Party is raising, that mother is psychotic. The children are in danger, and the police should take those children away from that mother. Those people are demented. They're seriously unwell. Now, there was a tweet, but I honestly, that woman should be identified. The children should be saved. The Democrat Party. And then, we've got Islamists, too. If you talk about radical Islam, then the Democrats call you all kinds of names because they've saddled up with Hamas. In fact, last night at the Emmy Awards, they have, what's the lady's name who said she had just won an award. She was apparently, and she was very excited. I didn't watch it. Nobody watched it. And she couldn't have been more excited. She wishes death on everyone. She's filled with hatred. And she's cursing up a storm, and then she's praising Hamas on the stage at the Emmy Awards because they love the genocide of the Jewish people, and they've saddled up with ISIS and Hamas. Very little daylight between them. Amazing stuff. But there is a story. This is presumably, it's hard to say right now whether it's a Democrat or jihadis, because they're in the same sleeping bag together. But here's the story out of Salt Lake City, Utah. 2 men arrested for placing a bomb on a Fox 13 media vehicle in Salt Lake City, Utah. See, the Democrats are bringing the war to Salt Lake City, Utah of all places. Kind of ironic. But I saw that, and I saw Democrats trying to bomb a Fox vehicle. They have psychotic disdain and hatred for Fox because they're the left. They're not liberals. They're the left. And it continues. Adib Nasir, 58 years old, and Adil Justice Ahmed Nasir, 31. I'm guessing that Adil Justice Ahmed Nasir, 31, might be the son of Adib Nasir, 58, have reportedly been arrested. The Salt Lake City Police Department bomb squad and the Unified Fire Authority and arson bomb squad say that a real explosive device was found under the vehicle. Police say they found the device placed under a news media vehicle parked next to an occupied building and determined it to be a real explosive device. It had been lit but failed to function as designed, according to the affidavit involved in the arrest and charging of the two Nasirs, rather. And isn't that amazing? So they found the device, and KSL reported it had been lit but failed to function as designed. The two men are facing charges including threat of terrorism, possessing weapons of mass destruction, and possessing explosive devices. And I say plural because the police, as you might imagine, went to the house where both of these people lived, and hopefully now they'll spend as much time in jail as the guy that hit Paul Pelosi in the head with a hammer, which is life in prison without parole. Life in prison without parole. So the Fox News people are covering it, but the Washington Post and CNN are not covering it because they don't care about terrorism as long as it kills all the right people. And this is what they sell, and this is what they teach their little girls to love and to cheer for. But isn't this amazing? Device prompted home evacuations in Magna as suspects taken into custody. Kind of an amazing story. The Federal Bureau of Investigation arrested two men in Utah after a bomb was found underneath a Fox 13 news vehicle in Salt Lake City. Salt Lake City in the middle of terrorism, shooting, assassinations. I know it was outside of Salt Lake City, but Utah, there you have it. The suspects, Adib Nasir, 58, and Adil Justice Ahmed Nasir, 31, facing multiple charges, including threat of terrorism, possessing a weapon of mass destruction, and possessing explosive devices. The device was found Friday, September 12th, 3 days ago now, and the rest of the news media not reporting it all weekend long. Determined to be real, Fox 13 reported. Officials said the device had been lit but failed to function. Salt Lake City Police Bomb Squad, United Fire Authority, and Arson Bomb Squad located the device under the Fox 13 vehicle parked next to an occupied building. Documents seen by Fox News Digital also show that because of the nature of the device and its placement, the incident constituted significant threat to public safety. As you might imagine, it's a bomb in a public place. The FBI Salt Lake City field office ultimately assumed jurisdiction over the search. Now, investigators traced the device back to a home, and they give the address here, where both suspects were said to be living, both of them with the same last name, but decades apart, maybe a father and son team. Federal agents served a search warrant on the property with the Salt Lake City Bomb Squad, ensuring the home was safe to enter. Inside the home, officers found two hoax weapons of mass destruction, two firearms, bomb-making equipment, and illegal drugs. These guys are having a party, aren't they? Nearby homes in the neighborhood had to be evacuated as authorities searched the area. Investigators said in addition to explosive materials found firearms, firearm-related items, illegal narcotics, electronic devices reasonably believed to contain evidence of crimes. Authorities said the suspects' actions posed a significant risk of mass casualties. Adib Nasir and Adil Justice Ahmed Nasir. You know, the word justice in there leads me to believe that he was born here, longtime American Muslims, and Salt Lake City, you know, because they want to get in on the Democrat Party's action here. And the Democrat Party chanting for Hamas. Also, you see these Democrats, the Hollywood people, all siding with, there's a big petition there, siding with Hamas, all these L.A. Hollywood people. Pretty amazing, or at least appalling stuff. And this NBC fake news has the story. Hollywood stars join pledge not to work with Israel film institutions, quote, implicated in genocide. Yeah, the only genocide is the genocide against the Jews, not against Hamas, which is a terrorist organization and not an ethnic group. But that's okay. Hollywood stars among thousands who joined pledge not to work with Israeli film institutions implicated in genocide. Filmmakers Jonathan Glazer and actors Joaquin Phoenix and Rooney Mara are among the latest to sign the letter, which Film Workers for Palestine published this week. Isn't that amazing? An open letter from a group calls itself Film Workers. Got to use the Soviet lexicon, workers. Film Workers of the World Unite. You have nothing to lose but your monkeypox. Film Workers for Palestine has amassed more than 4,000 signatures. As of Wednesday, there's a great war coming to the planet Earth, with a slew of Hollywood stars and filmmakers pledging not to work with the Jews, which is kind of ironic. It's Hollywood, after all. You know, you got to be an anti-Jew Jew, don't you? In fact, we've got audio of this the Jewish woman at the Emmys that I mentioned. Who's that? What's her name? Hannah Einbender. Ach bin Einbender. She's apparently, reportedly, she's Jewish. And at the Emmys last night, she cursing up a storm and condemning Israel and praising the radical Islamic terrorist death cult called Hamas, which is dedicated to the extermination of every Jew on earth.
Finally, go Birds, ICE, and free Palestine. Thank you.
And they all go wild. F ICE, Immigration Customs Enforcement, because they like slavery, because they're still the party of slavery. They got the bullwhip and the Robert Mapplethorpe photos, and they got all this stuff. It's an obscure reference. And the Democrats, F ICE, Immigration Customs Enforcement, and Free Palestine. I will literally buy you a ticket. You go spend one night in Gaza, and I will pay for your travel. I will personally pay out of pocket for your travel. And it's kind of funny because you would likely be killed there. Is she an LGBTQer also? Have you looked to see? Because she's LGBTQ. Isn't that amazing? Yeah, the Democrats. Man, oh man, the Democrat Party. I've got so many news stories. I'm going to try to get to as many of them as I can. She's B? Oh, she declares herself to be bisexual. Is that right? And she's praising Hamas, who would throw her off of the tallest building in Gaza City and kill her if they knew that. But these people are not very bright people at all. Man, oh, Manischewitz. Have you seen the story out of Los Angeles? An L.A. judge who threatened to shoot people in his courtroom admonished. He's been admonished. He's not off the bench. He's a Democrat, so I've got this remarkable story coming up. He's a Democrat judge. He's threatening to murder people in his courtroom. They have third-worlded the United States of America. The Democrat Party is the party of the third world, and they are turning the United States into the third world. It's all part of the fundamental transformation of America that Barack Obama promised. Aren't they amazing? Yeah, screw Israel. Death to the Jews, as the Jews in Hollywood say. And she's on the LGBTQ spectrum, just like the murderer of Charlie Kirk and his husband, who thinks he's a woman. And the Democrat media, they think that he's a woman, too. They say he's involved in a heterosexual relationship because his boyfriend thinks he's a girl. There was a memorial built by family in Colorado to Charlie Kirk. Democrats showed up and vandalized the memorial, set it on fire, and smashed windows in the house because the Democrat Party is the party of the Confederate States of America. And they love illegal aliens because it's today's slavery. That's the thing. Oh, speaking of which, the dim-witted Democrat Jasmine Crockett, what a mental case this one is, blast slaves, the ICE people as slave patrols. They love the slave patrol thing. That's the Democrat Party. The Democrat Party is the party of slavery. Slavery and the Confederate States. Remarkable things the Democrats are doing. They love Hamas. Oh, yeah, by the way, this lunatic woman I'm talking about, the Emmys, I played the audio a couple of minutes ago of Hannah Einbinder. She is disgracefully the daughter of Lorraine Newman, who used to be on Saturday Night Live a long time ago, and Lorraine Newman was funny. But now her Jewish lesbian daughter is calling for Hamas to wipe Israel off the map.
Go Birds, ICE, and Free Palestine. Thank you.
And they all cheer and go wild. F ICE and Free Palestine. Palestine is free. And this is what they do when they're free. They murder and rape and kidnap and kill and wage war. And they elect Hamas in an election that they've never had before, but the Jews gave them an election. And so they elected murderers and genocidal anti-Semites, like the Democrat Party. Remarkable stuff. Yeah, so we got that going. Also, I've got a great tweet that I want to share with you. But right now, let's go back to the phones. Let's go to Brian calling from Lorton, Virginia. Brian, you're on the Chris Plante Show.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good, Brian. What do you know? What do you say?
I just wanted your opinion, because everybody keeps calling this a political assassination of Charlie Kirk, and he's a media figure. It's a media assassination.
Well, he's a political figure also, very involved in conservative political causes. And in fact, last night at the Kennedy Center, a couple of women came forward and said, it was Charlie Kirk that got me to run for Congress, and now they're in Congress. So he's in politics, too. You're right, he's a media figure, but he's also a political figure. And he was killed for political reasons, not for media reasons.
I understand that, but it seems like an attack on a different part of society than what political assassination usually means.
You're right about that. You are right about that. It is a media figure that was not just murdered, but assassinated for political reasons. I would say not for media reasons, but for political reasons. But you're not wrong about that, and it does expand the breadth of political assassination in America. I don't think we've ever seen this before, and the Democrats have no idea what they've done.